dares come watch Thingus?
Who indeed? I can't believe I'm this guy and this is my life.
I'm this guy, and I'll have you know that you're not allowed to not like me.
Oh, oh no. I think people in the chat, I think Gabby dares to not like the show. Who dares?
This guy who has 3,000 to 5,000 live viewers at all times.
Who is currently destitute because his family has cut him off.
How dare you cut me off? Do you know who my father is? How dare my father cut me off? Do you know who I am? Do you know whose son I am? Do you know whose mother is mine?
How dare my body shut down due to starvation?
I can only imagine what this guy's father is like.
I mean, his father is not even an entity. His father is so distant from any sort of physical realm.
Yeah, like he's just like always half asleep. Yes.
Like a horrible creature in like some sci-fi horror story who's like barely conscious, but like has all of the money. Uh-oh. What's he gonna do? Play only one hand? No! I'm dead! What can I...
Hey, I don't hear the game.
What can I do? You can't hear the game?
Nah.
Okay,
is the game making noise? Because I don't hear shit.
Yeah, no, the game is playing this really drunk song that just goes on forever and ever and like just... Now I've got something. I don't think this will be enough though. Wait, only one hand type this round? Oh, so I can only do a full house? Is that what that means? Look, I'm ready to lose this shit. There's no way. There's just no way. You gotta be kidding. I can only play a full house. Nothing else is gonna count. Well, then you can win. I give up. Unless... Oh my god, that was so close. That was so close. But now, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get another full house.
This is confusing to me in the same way that the like card game battle from Yonoid was confusing to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is pretty similar to poker, but yeah, there's no more full house. Hand will not score. Fuck off. What if I do that? No. What if... No. Oh my god. No, I'm never going to get a full house.
So we talked about this game before. You were saying that people were making fun of it for having ugly code.
Yes. One of the greatest games I've ever played. I play this game every day of my life. No!
You almost accidentally posted some code into Discord.
I know. While I was oh my god, I would just
when
need
you
to score one more
pasting
time.
my hilarious image.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did I do a full house? I'm so stupid. Well, I guess that's that. That's that, guys. I'm freaking dead. Yeah, no, I was trying to post Joe's hilarious image into Discord, and I almost just posted my code. Here comes the Joker to laugh at me.
And I guess for a game dev, that's like people pulling down your pants and seeing the color of your underwear.
Yeah, no.
And everyone makes fun of your mustard colored underwear for the rest of your life.
Depends when you live. If you're living in the 2010s, everyone's like, yeah, mustard colored underwear, of course.
So what, was it like the 80s, that's fine, and then the 90s, that stops being fine?
Until like 2009 or so. And then it's fine. Mustard colored underwear, no problem.
It's back, or is it gone again?
Oh, it's gone again. Although...
But ketchup is in.
Yeah. I don't own any mustard colored underwear now.
No, me neither.
No. But
I'm more into spicy horseradish these days, which is as underwear would just be white.
Wait, isn't spicy horseradish like white but a little bit cream?
I mean, it's mostly white. It's
That's
like,
just old underwear. Like gray underwear.
it's mostly white though.
All right. Gabby owns mustard colored underwear. Does anybody else want to cop to that?
Well, maybe they didn't think about it as being mustard until you put that into their heads. Like this paint behind me looks kind of like mustard.
It's true. Look, it's fine to paint your wall that color. We're not talking about your wall. We're talking about painting your ass that color.
Yeah, this is the color of your ass. You want your ass to be yellow mustardy?
In the mid 90s? No.
With 3 siblings who will make fun of you for it, even though I was too young to pick my underwear color.
Oh, did this not work last time? Did I try it?
You know what my siblings also did to me? They hid the stuff I wanted to play inside of a labyrinth of folders that was like, fuck and you.
Oh, yeah. So that was a program which I'm actually very nostalgic for.
Yeah.
When we were kids, the way to get to a computer was to play our dad's office PC, which was only available before work hours and at night, and sometimes not at night. And maybe on the weekend you could steal a couple hours in there. So we'd get on there, and there was no internet, obviously. Oh, let's watch this cutscene while I tell this story. So you'd get in there, and you'd have like 5 games to play. So we got bored of just having games to play and freely sharing them among siblings. So Direct Access was like a precursor to Windows, where you were in DOS, but it presented a UI folder system. So it started with our brother, like just creating a labyrinth of folders to hide all his shit in. And once I found his games that way, I figured out how to do that myself, and I made an even worse one. And we just made them.
I could barely hear this.
Let me turn it up a bit. Game audio low. One moment, please.
But yeah, good times. Good times with DOS, which we're not using today because could not figure out.
No, couldn't figure out. We're getting to it. Is that better? Audio better? So I never played this game. I played Tomb Raider 2, which I'm gonna assume like is better gameplay, but I love these little cutscenes rendered in the engine. Do you want to play or should I? I think you might be a little better at this than me.
I'll play, yeah. So this was for PlayStation and PC, right?
Yeah, this might have been for PC.
Da, 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 da. You know, the Snoopy song.
Oh, geez. Took me a minute. So this is like, this looks engine rendered, but it's like better, right?
This is rendered.
Yeah, this is some serious polygons. I gotta say, I played Tomb Raider 2, and I never felt like the game gave me as much context as this one does. Now I'm understanding Lara Croft for the very first time.
Yeah. What was the context? I didn't really get much out of it.
I mean, I don't know, like, who she's affiliated with here. Just that she's an explorer. Oh my god.
And that she shoots dogs.
And that she has sort of an adversarial relationship with the sexist men in her field. Just shooting dogs. And the unfortunate nobody who traveled with her.
He's a nobody. He died like a dog.
He died with the dogs.
Hottest women in gaming.
Lara Croft, still the best.
We love her, don't we?
Just following puppy prints. All right, a lot of this animation looks the same as the second game. Is it as hard to use as it looks?
Yeah, that's something I remember is that square was jump in this game. It's like used to games being, you know, B or X to jump. Or I guess on PlayStation it's not an X, it's a cross.
The late great Lara Croft. What did he say? Did he say about that about recently? The late great Hannibal Lecter. Like he was at a rally maybe like 2 months ago, and he was like, "What did he say? The late great Hannibal Lecter. I have to go meet someone for dinner," and he meant he was gonna eat him, you know, like that. But for some reason he said late great.
He thinks he's real.
And that he died.
That is great.
Oh, what are we gonna do without him when Kamala's president? Well, I suppose when Kamala's president, he's still gonna be running, right?
Yeah, he'll be lurking.
He'll be lurking for the next 4 years.
Yeah, are we gonna get it over with, or are we gonna put it off for another 4 years?
Yeah, you know, we could just let him be president for 8 more years, and that would solve the problem, right?
8 more years.
Just like the thought of my son being a teenager, living his entire life with this. I don't think it's gonna happen, but also I don't think we're going to escape it. Like when Kamala wins, which I think she's gonna win. When she wins, he's just going to threaten to be president for the rest of his life, right?
President for life.
He's like, yeah, you know, like 1,000 years of Trump. Yeah, we'll never have to vote again. Yeah, none of the actors who played Hannibal have died, and he's never died in any of the books. He's never been late. I think we're gonna kill Joe if we keep talking about this.
This sucks.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, we could stop playing Tomb Raider. That would be a possibility.
I think I would probably want to do that.
Yeah.
If I was like a kid and like had, you know, this game just came out.
But instead you want to suffer.
No, like I feel like I would never buy this game. I would just rent it, and that would make it easier to just like turn off.
I mean, this game was a huge hit.
But I never played it. I never bought it. I never cared about it, and I think it's.
So was this game just a hit because of Lara Croft?
Yeah, probably. It's like they're trying to get you to buy a PlayStation with this game.
Right.
It's like, ooh, 3D boobs.
Yeah.
Like
hardly 3D.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, let's take a look, shall we?
Let's see them. They're just
turn around.
It's just a triangle.
I can't even really see them.
No.
Ow! I don't even have a weapon.
Oh, I guess not. You're just holding out your hand. Oh, no, there you go. You got guns. You're just killing innocent bats and dogs.
Bats that attacked my head.
Yeah, but they're just bats. Like, they've never seen a woman before. They don't know what that long hair means.
Neither has anyone who's ever owned a Super Nintendo. This is the first time you're ever like feeling sexual about a video game character.
I mean,
that's why this game sold a lot of whatever.
About a video game character who resembles an anatomical human female.
Yeah.
Jumping and rolling at a door because it's not immediately clear how to open it.
I tried every button except the right one.
I think the music is telling you something's about to pop out and scare you.
Telling me to get my guns out.
Yes.
Forgot the action button again. I mean, this feels like kind of like Zelda so far. Zelda, but you have a gun.
Yeah, you got dungeons.
Excuse me.
You got dungeons. You got bats to kill. You've got wolf-like creatures to kill. Men just start talking to you without permission.
How dare you talk to me? Do you realize that I live on a boat with 2 stories?
Yeah, but it's like extremely run down. It doesn't run anymore. It's a crumbling, creaky boat.
Yeah.
I am starting to get the impression that this guy is a prince who lives in poverty.
I mean, he could be a little like Job. He lives on a yacht.
Yeah, that's what Gabby was saying in the chat too. He lives on the family yacht, right, with his teenage girlfriend.
I think this family has more than one yacht. Just like from the amount of privilege he has, like being this broke.
Right, it's a rotted old yacht that the family forgot they have.
Yeah,
it's the worst yacht they have.
And
it's from the 80s.
Yeah, it's from the 80s, and
it's got an N64.
It's got an N64 in it, and it was old even when it was new.
What's the boat called?
Camelot.
Camelot. Yes. And there'll be like a seagull landing on the nose of the boat.
And the camera zooms out and it's on blocks in their backyard.
Yeah, a dog is barking. He's like, "Who dares?" And the dog is also saying, "Who dares?" Kamala's the name of the boat. The SS Kamala.
Oh, I just realized these rocks are billboards. They're always facing the camera.
Really? Oh. That's funny.
Yeah, like, you see how Louise is in that position?
Yeah.
It's like, if you go over there, you'll still see that.
I'll still see that, yeah. Well, yeah, the cat does that too. Anyway, it's Thingus Wednesday. I'll formally introduce the show. I'm Meredith, and this is Joe. We're siblings from the same mother. And every week we get together, play some old shit, think about times gone by as we descend into illness and dementia, as our bodies deteriorate. The memories grow more vivid, and we clutch to them more desperately than before. What did we do this week? We went camping again. Well, I went camping again. Joe went camping as well, and we all went camping together with our other brother and his wife and children, and had a wonderful little weekend at Jellystone Park.
At Jellystone Park. It's the one from Yogi Bear.
It's the one from Yaji Bear, as Oscar said. Oh, it's Blaisdell's birthday. Happy birthday. I toast my gamer fuel in your honor. It's iced tea.
Welcome to the Thingus birthday club.
That's right. Birthday club.
If it's your birthday, we might read your name.
Yeah. If not, don't speak.
How?
Can you grab a ledge?
There might be a button for it.
Maybe if you do that cool jump, you can get up. You know who else's birthday it was this weekend? Oh, it looked like you grabbed. Who else's birthday it was this weekend was Heidi, my dog.
Heidi.
I'm actually celebrating her birthday all month. So anytime you'd like to wish a happy birthday to Heidi, whether this week or next or the week after that, you will be correct. My dear Heidi dog, who I adopted her. Oh my God. That sucks so much.
I don't know what I did. I just mashed the buttons.
Oh my God. All right. I'm sorry your week's not going great, buddy. Blaisdell in the chat. I'm sorry to hear it. I hope things start to get better. Not the most fun way to ring in a birthday. But we celebrated Heidi this weekend.
Yeah, there she
Kill
is.
those dogs! I adopted my wonderful dog when I was living in Portland. And keep killing dogs while I tell this story.
I'm out of dogs.
You're out of dogs. The day I went to the shelter, I came for another dog, and I came with my roommate who brought her dog so that we could be sure that the dog I got would be okay with living with this dog. And I came to see another dog, and he was just so scared of the other dog, who was an enormous but gentle dog. So I didn't get him. The shelter was about to close, and this woman was like very much wanting me to leave. And I asked her, like, do you have any other dogs? I really wanted to get a dog today, and my roommate's here with her dog, so like it'd be hard to, coordinate this again tomorrow. So I looked at the catalog, and I saw a beagle named Barney. And I was like, can I look at Barney? And the lady's like, you don't want Barney. And I did not inquire further. And then I saw Corky, which was the most alert-looking dog. Like in the photo, the most alert-looking dog I had ever seen. Her ears were perked up so high in the picture that they were tiny. Like when a dog's ears go up and then they just bend like that at the top. They were so alert that just the tiniest little bit of them like that, they looked so small, like Tostitos scoops. So I asked to see Corky, and that dog immediately ran in the room and immediately jumped up in my lap and curled up into a little ball. And the other dog, the roommate's dog, came over, And she perked up and showed him every last one of her horrible teeth. Just the worst mouth full of enormous terrier teeth you've ever seen on such a tiny little dog. And my roommate, who was also tired and ready to go home, was like, well, at least she showed him. She showed him that, not to get too close. And I'm like, yeah, she showed him. That means it's fine. She's really cute, and I love that she just came up and snuggled with me. So do I need to inquire further? Let me just get this dog. The way I figured, I was going to fall in love with absolutely any dog I got. Oh, you figured out how to do it. And I let her down on the floor, and I went to sign the papers. By the way, she was named Corky because some motherfucker from a previous life had slammed a door on her tail, and it was permanently broken. And it was shaped like a question mark or a corkscrew. I'm signing the adoption papers for her. And she just goes into a corner and pisses an enormous puddle of pee. And I asked the lady if she was housebroken, and the lady was like, probably not. like, what do you want from me? Take your fucking dog. It took me like a week to name her, and it took me like a year to train her, just to not have separation anxiety. And she has never really been totally all right. But that matters so little when you know Heidi. When you know Heidi, you know a dog that you just know you're never going to see a dog like this again in your entire life. And I think that's probably why Joe was compelled to make a cartoon out of her, to turn her into the dog of wisdom, because the sound she would make, it sounded like something between a human and a goat. She would go, ah. She still makes those sounds. I'm talking about her like she's gone, but I really, I don't want to wait until she's gone. She's actually quite healthy. She's 16, and I'm so happy every day that I've got this dog. She has given me, for every kibble I've put in her mouth, for every dollar I've spent on servicing those horrible teeth, she has given me more love than I can comprehend. She is my very special friend, and I'm so glad I got to have a little birthday celebration with the family around, and I'm so glad I get to talk about her, and she's still here, and that I've gotten to share her likeness with the world, very, very much unexpectedly, and it's seemingly through Joe's hard work and talent, given people a lot of joy to see this strange little dog floating on a cloud. Oh yeah, she is meant to be the coconut dog, the dog that pisses on a coconut as well. That's her. That's her taking a big piss. That's my girl.
Yeah, Heidi loves Meredith. Like, she'll be like focusing on something else and like walking around the room and like having like 5 other things going on, but Heidi's just locked onto Meredith and like follows her like Pikachu in Pokemon Yellow.
I describe her as like, she's like my daughter and my mother at the same time.
Yeah.
She's so worried about me.
Yeah.
And she needs me so much.
Yeah. Well, Heidi, I feel like I'm, maybe perhaps Heidi's second or third favorite person, because she lets me do some of the things that you do, but like not others. Like when you pick her up, she never gets mad at you, right? She never snarls.
Rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
When I pick her up, she snarls every.
Oh!
So yeah, like when we were coming home, Heidi was like on the way there, Heidi was just staring at me the whole time, and it was cute. But like on the way home, she was like walking back and forth between the front and back of the motorhome, and she was like coming over to me and like, you know, like looking like she wanted to be picked up. I picked her up and she would snarl at me, and then she would like jump down. She'd want to be put down, and then she came back and she snarled again, and like Mike kept looking like,
I think I
she
figured
kept snarling.
I cracked that one. She was sick from hunger because she hadn't eaten that dog food in the motorhome that she didn't like.
Yeah.
When she got home, she started eating and she was better after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just thought that food was disgusting, I guess.
Yeah.
She wouldn't eat it, and she's like spitting up. I know this is a fascinating stream of content. Fascinating stream of consciousness.
Yeah, no, Heidi gets all kinds of fluids everywhere. She's kind of gross.
Oh man, this dog pisses. Just a piss balloon.
Yeah, the lawn covered in her shit.
Well, anybody with a backyard has a lawn, and a dog has a lawn covered in shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you live in a city and have a dog, like if you live in an apartment in a city, oh my god, there you go. This is like all the boobs you're supposed to get. Like you get this every 2 hours when you trigger a cutscene, right? And that's supposed to sustain you. People were famished back in the day.
Well, just like the Genesis commercial, a lot of the selling points must have been that you couldn't do this on Nintendo.
Yeah, you can't see that globe of an ass like on any 2D console.
Well, yeah, you couldn't do this 3D on Super Nintendo, and you couldn't even do that CG cutscene on N64.
No.
If there was, there'd be like one per entire game.
Right, because those games were like 16 megabytes large.
Yeah, some less than that.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to talk about like the campground and like any observations about the average camper at the Jellystone Park campground?
Well, yeah, so like this, you could just do that. You could just do that. So like yeah, like this was a Yogi Bear themed campground, and there were Ranger Smith signs saying like no this, no that. But there were also Yogi Bear signs saying don't do this or that. Like
yeah.
Like he doesn't care. Does he care if you like loiter or whatever?
No, he's Yogi Bear. He don't care. No, not his vibe at all. Not his vibe at all. Also, like I thought it was annoying that like the range, like the branding was all off, guys. It was all off. Let me design the Jellystone Park signs, please. You guys obviously don't understand this very simple assignment. The Ranger Smith signs where it's like, no, don't do that. Ranger Smith is like he's smiling with his palm pointing out. Like, no, why isn't he serious looking?
I saw one where he's serious looking.
He was blowing a gasket. He was furiously mad in that one. That's wrong too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really did not understand the assignment. I mean, I will say, like, this was a quality campground. Other than the fact that we were put at a site. All right, I did have a few bones to pick with this campground. We were put at a site where they have planted trees, but the trees are like 4 years old, so you get absolutely no shade.
Yeah.
You have to pay for the site with a full-grown tree. And when I was reserving the site, I was trying to reserve a site next to our brother's camper, and the website, it says in you know, differently worded, but basically says, this is your site unless somebody decides to pay more, and then we're going to give it to them. So would you like to pay more so that we don't do that?
Fucking degenerates.
Right?
Go to
Absolute
hell.
sickos.
Yeah, psychos.
Right?
American psychos.
Well, just like when you're sitting around thinking about ways to generate more money out of like the shopping experience of like picking your campsite, one of them is like one of them is to threaten the user that what they just paid for won't be what they paid for.
Yeah, like, what if you paid for it? Are they gonna give you your money back, or are they gonna just like give you a shittier?
They're gonna give you another campsite that's not with your family. And then you're gonna have to rent a golf cart so you can ride to that other campsite.
No.
So the default state of campers at this campground was sitting on a golf cart looking at your phone, right? Like, look, I'm not going to be all get off your phone. I'm sitting there looking at my phone. There's nothing to do. It's kind of nice to just sit and zone out. But, like, the default state is, like, being completely checked out from both the natural world and any sort of physical exertion at all. It's kind of exhausting to like, well, I don't know. I don't know if it's exhausting. I just saw it so much that it made me feel a little crazy. Like, the purpose of camping for the majority of people, I felt like, you know, I was the weird one, is to take as many things from your home as you possibly can and bring them somewhere else and use all of them at the same time, like turn all of them on at the same time and leave them all running for 3 days and then just drive off with all of it again. And begin the 5-hour process of putting it all back in your house. Unless you've bought duplicates of everything in your home so that you don't have to do that, which is entirely possible. Yeah, pretty nice campsite. Be a real shame if someone would pay more for the same campsite and then I have to evict you. That's exactly what they were trying to do. Speaking of end user interactions that may end up breaking me. I saw a real doozy the other day that I think is going to be the one that is going to make me install Linux finally. So after we were camping, you know, during the camp trip, I had been playing solitaire with the kids. I showed them how to play solitaire. Always a big hit at a campground, right? You get out a pack of cards, show the kids how to play solitaire. It was so fun. My one niece, I show her what to do. You know, like you move the card up here, and then you get to flip this one. And she's like, she loves flipping. She loves flipping over the downturned card. She's like, it's like opening a present. and with delight every time she had a chance, she's like, look at all the presents I have, and she would just flip all the cards. So happy. And you know, whenever I play solitaire with the kids, I remember that I also love solitaire. So in my every free moment, I'm just like sitting down at that table with the deck and just playing a game of solitaire. So anyway, we go home and we're just, we're just unpacking. We're tired for the night. And Oscar still wants to play solitaire. The deck is packed away. I don't know where it is. So I'm like, all right, well, let's play Windows Solitaire, right? You can see where I'm going with this. We played one round of Windows Solitaire, and actually that wasn't the thing that broke me. There was an ad sitting right next to the game the entire time. But, I was just like rolling my eyes at that. Played through the game. It tries to tell you you've got 400 XP from finishing the game. Tries to get you to advanced levels. I know what you guys are trying to do. I don't want to do that. Anyway, we finished the solitaire game, and nowadays they're not separate applications. All of the Windows games are one program, right? It's Solitaire and Casual Games, it's called. So, of course, Oscar wants to check out another game, and I say, you're all just saying Linux and like, oh no, that sounds bad. Yeah. So I decided I'm going to show him another one of my absolute favorite all-time games. Windows Minesweeper. So I started out easy. I show him how to win a game of Minesweeper. And then I kind of prepare him, and I'm like, well, all right, look what happens if you actually accidentally hit the mine. Oh no, see, that's where it was, and that's where you thought it was, and see, you mark it wrong, and it's going to tell you if you marked it wrong. After I lose the game, a window pops up that asks me if I would like a second chance to win that game in exchange for watching an ad. Now, I'm sure this feature has been around for a while. I'm sure this is nothing new. But yeah, I was in shock. I was in shock. Nothing has gutted me that way. I have not encountered something so evil. From like standard Windows software. Watch an ad in exchange for a second chance at the game. Even now, I'm speechless. Is it that they sold enough goodwill on these games over the years that they can just strip away everything that was good about them and keep the name and get a few good years of people naively checking that shit out? I mean, I cannot imagine anybody who played the original game putting up with that shit. Maybe my son would have if I wasn't sitting there. Maybe I think the thing that frightens me the most is the thought that somebody who's been playing Minesweeper as long as me would just be like, yeah, that's what it's like now. Anyway, back to watching my ad. That if the poison is slipped into the dog food slowly enough, that you would just put up with some shit like that. That you would just raw dog Windows.
Yeah, Windows with with ads. I already paid for Windows. They made me pay for it.
And now they're showing you ads.
Now they're making me watch ads.
They won't even give you Minesweeper for free. A 35-year-old game.
Yeah, Windows, go fuck yourselves. Fuck your stock. Is that crashing too? It probably is, right?
It's all bad right now, I believe. Big tech will not be missed. I really do pray for its failure. I know that means we won't be able to run this stream anymore, but there's a lot of Linux using Dorcases out there who could probably help us run it from our own server, right? It'll be this big. It'll be 5 pixels high. It'll look like a cutscene from a PlayStation game.
Well, yeah, I can actually stream from my site, which is a Linux Dorcas website, but there's a 3-minute delay. There's no chat, and there's a thing in the corner that says, warning, this site does collect IP addresses and might share with others if they somehow were a hacker and knew how to do that.
Oh, I see. But you have to like open that. You have to like breach that little bit of security to make it work.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's honest.
Yeah. But I don't like it.
No.
It scares people away from using the site.
Right. Well, I think all of us.
I hate this game. Can we play something else?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think all of us pretty soon are going to need to develop a taste for some open source shit.
Well, I have. I've been using Blender for a few years now. It's not easy. It sucks, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Adventure Game Studio is not exactly the most modern developer-friendly engine either, except in the ways that it is, in that it allows you to produce whatever game you want and do whatever you want with it. Okay, so my new games aren't actually showing up here for some reason.
Scan.
Oh, right. Ah, hooray. Are they here? No. All right, but I'll go back and maybe then they'll be there. Thing? No. All right, I'm just gonna. I'll go back to load content, and they may come around then.
Yeah, they're still in downloads.
No, they should definitely be in here. I can't.
Did we ever play Spyro the Dragon?
We did we?
I don't think so.
You play. I watched Mike play it the other day. But
Okay.
yeah, give it a go. Blender got a cool new update that makes it cooler and newer recently.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't see it though. I have to check that out because I hear it's cooler and newer, like you say.
I mean, I really got to hand it to anybody who's keeping these open source programs supported and adding new features to them. They're really they're doing heroes work. They're using their powers for good. I want to disappear into an open source world. I can't take it anymore. I've hit my limit. I can't let my kid live in this world either. Not when he's vulnerable, when he can't tell the difference between an ad and fiction. He can barely tell the difference between reality and fiction. The shit people are trying to shove down his throat.
Oh,
Yeah, it's such a waste of his time. Like, he's not allowed to play video games for that long.
No.
It's not fair to show him ads when he's playing a game.
No.
What about this Ganasty Gnort character?
It's just like.
Now I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors. For
I mean,
his
I've heard about
Very
games.
interesting.
I've heard about nightmare games that I can't even comprehend. Like, apparently Roblox is pretty evil. in ways that I'm not like totally clear on. It may either be a sort of a gambling thing, or it may be that it exploits the efforts of young underage developers who can't be paid for their work, but they do a lot to like mod and hack Roblox. Am I landing on anything here?
I don't know much about this. I do know that Roblox is like a game dev environment and sort of like its own economy with its own currency, which is like whenever I've thought about like crypto and like there needs to be like a kid currency. Then I forget that I always forget that like Roblox is kind of what that is.
Yeah.
It's the metaverse. It's the kid currency.
Oh my god. So Lopsy says that you can make your own games for it, and you can make pennies from it while the company makes a lot of money.
Well, I mean, it's the same on YouTube.
Yeah, no, except that it's babies. It's like you know, people who aren't even old enough to be exploited by the platform. But yeah, it's all kind of the same thing where it's it gives you the best tools for the job, the best environment, and the biggest audience, and
thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
And then it makes you feel obliged to use their platform.
He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I like all this stuff is like stuff I want for him. I want him to, you know, find his games that he loves, and I want him to make games. Like it seems like he would enjoy it, you know, but I can never give him that. And I mean, I suppose I'm such a crank that I'm willing to curate an entire learning and gaming environment for him. So I'm going to have to do that, but that's fine because I'm a dorcas who enjoys doing that. I was watching a video by the game historian. I hadn't seen this one yet. It's fairly recent. And that guy, by the way, is doing some cool shit. Like, he makes a lot of, like, the history of Mario, you know, like, it's all Mario all the time in a lot of his videos. But he's actually exploring other facets of game history lately that I think are completely unexplored and undocumented. So he made a documentary about Oregon Trail. And he interviewed a couple of the original guys who none of whom made a penny from Oregon Trail. They were student teachers, and they were teachers. They met as student teachers in university. And as teachers, they decided to make an educational game about. They were, you know, the curriculum was to teach the Oregon Trail, and they decided to make an educational game. And you know, like one of them came up with the idea, and two of them stayed late into the night on the school's hardware because they didn't have computers of their own, and programmed it. And they did it real fast. It was within less than 2 weeks that they made the entire game. And you know, it was text based. So, did you play the graphical version as a kid?
Yeah, I remember being at some other school, and I was in the computer lab, and I don't remember why I was there, but they had that there.
You played Oregon Trail on some computer at some school somewhere.
Yeah.
So, it was a text-based game, and it started with like you have this much money. What? How much do you want to spend on this? On oxen? On food? On or various supplies and such, medicine, whatever. And then it calculates the probability of every outcome, and there's like random things, and shit happens to you. The hunting mechanic is really fun because it's not graphical, so it's just like you see a deer coming and you have to type the word bang quickly and accurately to get him. And if you type it wrong, you miss. And if you type it too slow, you miss. So they had a way of making it exciting. Anyway, they give this program to the students. And the students are just like absolutely crazy about it. They can't get enough of it. And they were actually running it on a teletype. Do you know what that is?
No.
So like they didn't have a monitor. They had a computer with no monitor. So you would enter something and the computer would print a readout and that would be your screen.
Cool.
So the kids were playing by typing in their commands and reading what it said on the page that printed out. That's Oregon Trail. Kids are going crazy for it. They're lining up after school to play Oregon Trail.
What year is this?
That's a very good question. Might have been like late 70s or early 80s. Does that sound right? This was in Minneapolis. And a fun little factoid that they mention is that one of the kids who couldn't get enough of Oregon Trail was Prince. Isn't that cute? He was a basketball player at this high school. And he'd show up after school and play Oregon Trail. Anyway, the game was a huge hit. But eventually, for whatever reason, might have been a change of jobs, or the program ended, or I think it was the school found out that they'd been using the computers to program it, and they didn't like that, so they promised not to show up the program anymore. Oh wow, Spyro can't take water at all. So they printed out the entire program and uninstalled it and took it with them. And it just went dark for years. At some point in the near future, through some joint effort between like the city of Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota, they decided that there would be like a state-funded computer learning department, and their intention was to create educational games that were publicly funded. Totally radical idea. And you know, somebody involved remembered this local news story about the computer game, and they tapped these guys to become a part of the company, which they named MEC, which you may have heard of.
Yeah.
It's like Minneapolis Minnesota Electronic Computer Company, something like that. That was government funded gaming. It's impossible to comprehend now. MEC. And you know, they'd done their research, and at the time there really weren't a lot of educational games. There were almost none. So they decided that one of their titles would be Oregon Trail, and they brought back the game, and they rewrote it as a graphical game, and they changed a few things. They The original was a little like indigenous people are the bad guy. This became a little bit more vague. Who was attacking you, for instance, like when riders were coming and they looked hostile. They made the game more universally playable. And then they added in all of the beautiful graphics that people remember if they played it on the Apple II, which was the computer that was, very successfully being sold to schools. And part of the reason for that was because of Oregon Trail. People were buying Apple computers like crazy so that they could bring Oregon Trail to their schools. And this expanded beyond the state and became like a nationwide thing. Every American school had an Apple II with Oregon Trail. Over time there were more companies in the game. There was Broderbund, who made Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and there was the Learning Company, which you probably remember making Reader Rabbit and Ancient Empires and a bunch of educational games that we really enjoyed when we were kids. Anyway, at some point, Mech sadly decided to go private, and that was the beginning of the end. Oregon Trail was still their top seller, and the more years they existed as a private company, the more they squoze Oregon Trail for everything it had, for every last bit of juice. They made different trails. They made Amazon Trail and like a bunch of other trails, which I'm just like, no! Other trails? Shut up! Probably not very good games. But eventually, Mech was on the, on a serious decline, and it was bought by a private equity. Which, I'm sure you're imagining now how great things turned out for them, because it always does when private equity comes in and buys up this shit. It was bought up by a company who then also bought the Learning Company and then renamed themselves the Learning Company, so that it was all owned by a company called the Learning Company.
Hey, Spyro.
That was not the Learning Company anymore. They made a bunch of shit games and then drove the company down the toilet. That shit didn't last. A couple of years before it all got flushed away. And then nobody was making great educational games anymore. And even today, I put it to you to find me a software developer that is making excellent games that don't have any of the stupid shit in them, that are just for kids to have fun and experiment and learn. It all began and ended there. And I don't know that we're ever going to see anything like that ever again. So, my sense is that he didn't even say one syllable. We watched a speedrunner playing this at MagFest, right?
Oh yeah.
And he just clicked through all those dragons real fast too.
Yeah.
My sense is that my son cannot tell when a game is old, and he certainly wouldn't care if he knew a game was old. He plays, if it's a game, he'll play it, regardless of the graphics, or whether it talks, or whether it's 3D, or whatever the fuck. He's just like, Ooh, what do you do with this? It's all just a little toy to examine and have fun with. And I don't want it to be like this. I don't want there to just be an ancient archive of great accepted software that is not hostile to kids and looking for ways to exploit them. I don't want to have to draw solely from ancient shit like I'm some Brigsby Bear parent raising my kid in an underground a fortress in a bunker. But that seems to be the choice I've been left with. And all things considered, there are worse things than a couple of decades of excellent games that you can just own on your computer. That can just be yours. And you can play them as they're meant to be played. And you can still feel the way that they made us feel. At least to some extent. Some version of that is still possible. Anyway, that's my story. If anybody knows any software developers who give even the slightest shit about making educational software that doesn't just like teach children why AI is cool, hit me up. I would really love to know about it. I feel like that is a shamefully underrepresented genre of game development. Games created for the benefit of children.
or with any educational value.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone still making Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. This is a popular software for
Mario doesn't teach typing anymore, though.
No. Mario is tired. You never know. Mavis might still have a little energy for it.
Yeah. Didn't Mech also make Odell Down Under?
I think you're right. They made Odell Lake and Odell Down Under, which was like a sequel. Odell Lake was also on Apple II, and it was the same idea where like you're a fish in a pond, and you're learning about a particular fish's relationship to all the other fish in their ecosystem, and learning how to survive based on what's coming at you.
Yeah, like you learn what you can and can't eat because you lose and gain energy, and sometimes something will eat you, and you learn what eats you.
Yep. Mavis Beacon's Tunnel of Doom. Yeah, no, I'm afraid to look, honestly. I'm imagining like a nightmare game where like I don't even know what it's trying to get you to do, but it has so little to do with typing.
You can just talk to Mavis Beacon. She's AI.
You don't have to type. Well, maybe typing is considered an obsolete. I mean, how can that be when typing is how you learn to code?
Mavis Beacon teaches prompting.
Right, Mavis Beacon teaches grifting. Right, Mavis Beacon is an influencer now. She teaches you how to connect with your fans in a parasocial sort of way. Typing going the same way as cursive. Well, if you're a programmer, you can't stop typing, right? They're trying to teach kids to code, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be able to type. Everyone types. You know, anyone who uses a computer seriously is typing on a keyboard,
Well,
not
yeah,
on
but
a phone.
But who's using a computer seriously?
Programmers, I guess.
Programmers and people and you know, professional artists and designers, professional writers, but like in your daily life as a kid, you're not really typing.
Unless you're growing up in a pandemic.
Right. Zooming your class meetings. Well, I mean, that's still going on, you know.
Yeah.
When instead of a snow day now, kids go remote.
That sucks.
Right?
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, if you're a professional, if you're a professional email answerer, which covers most people with you know, a job, right? You got to answer an email every once in a while. You got to fill out a form. You got to take a survey. Or if you've spent any time applying for jobs, you're probably typing. It could just be that I take for granted how early computer literacy was instilled in us between that one computer we all fought over and computer class with these, you know, already ancient Apple computers that had all these programs on them for me.
Yeah, our dad had a computers job, so he had computers, and I feel like not everybody had computers. Like, not everybody knew what computers were.
Not everyone knew how to use them until the internet really caught on.
Until smartphones caught on.
Well, by then, the idea of like signing onto the internet was, that was not really a thing anymore. The boundary blurred. Oh, another gaming historian video I watched was Steve Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like 10 minutes long. And what I got out of this video is two things. Steve Jobs stole money from Wozniak and smelled awful. Awful. Presumably because he thought, well, this was apparently this is all well documented. I looked it up afterwards, and I watched a little of that terrible Ashton Kutcher movie from a few years ago. He ate an entire diet of fruit, and he thought that eating fruit removes body odor. And he would just show up to the offices of Atari smelling like shit every day. The gaming historian very soberly delivered this news. The man stank. And people couldn't stand being around him because he was also an annoying person. And he smelled. He's just like me. California brain, yeah. Well, it was his undoing too. He had a form of cancer that He had a rare form of pancreatic cancer that actually had a pretty good outlook with, you know, modern medicine. And instead he decided to like go on a juice cleanse and die. So I suppose we have to admire that he stuck to his guns on that one until the very end. He was just a stinky hippie for life. Didn't Dr. Oz kill him? I don't know. I'm sure some quack was taking his money and giving him juice. Do we know if it was Dr. Oz? A weird pairing.
Yeah, I mean, that's sad to hear that he was a kook and that he died because he was a kook.
Yeah. Well, you know, you live by the sword. I mean, a hippie would object to such a weapon, but yeah, he died by the stupid shit he believed in.
He died by the iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he believed stupid shit, and now people use their stupid iPhones to spread stupid shit.
Right, to also believe stupid shit. And to smell.
Dumbasses. They're all doing that until they die. The ones that survived of COVID are just gonna die of some other shit.
Okay, so yeah, Blaisdell says that Dr. Oz got him on the fruitarian diet. Well, yeah, but I'm saying that he was on the fruitarian diet all his life, like all his adult life.
Horrible.
When he was out of college and working at Atari, he was on that diet already.
Fruitarian?
Yeah,
like that doesn't seem like something that you should do long term.
No, it's a way to shit out your entire body and lose a bunch of weight. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever had a lot of fruit for breakfast?
Oh yeah, I love that. Every like 3 months, maybe.
Yeah. Imagine doing that every day of your life.
No.
Like, Steve Jobs would just have to like stop walking in whatever room he was in at the Apple offices and just take a giant shit.
Ew.
I'm not serious about that one. But you know,
I thought you were seriously saying he smelled like shit.
Oh, well, he did. He did. But it's not because he was shitting.
Oh, okay.
He just smelled.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a story a high school teacher told you about meeting Allen Ginsberg. Was he stinky? I mean, look, we didn't live during this time period. We don't know. Maybe everyone was stinky. Right? Like when you talk about like you know, living in time periods where like there's no indoor plumbing and there's just shit everywhere. I've heard that when there was no plumbing, if you were in like a rich person's manor, like people would just hide behind a curtain and take a shit. And that was fine. Like you wouldn't get caught. You'd get away with it. Can anyone confirm or deny?
Where did you learn this?
I think Kate Beaton told me that one. And she knows what's up.
Yeah, like, I guess the whole world smelled like shit.
Yeah.
So nobody even noticed if you were taking a dump right next to them.
No. Well, you know, it's also like, I'm talking about like one of those big hallways where there's just giant windows facing out to the Garden of Versailles or whatever. You're just walking through those halls and you're like, these halls are fucking endless. And also there's no bathroom at the end of this. I shit where I want to shit. That's my life. It's been my entire life. Right? I suppose I could get to my chamber and put it in the pot, but like, then it's gonna be in my chamber. Why not just do it here? There's a curtain. It's fine. How was Klonoa? We haven't played it yet. We've got less than an hour to play Klonoa.
All right.
But Joe's doing great. Oh my god, his mouth. What the
I finally figured out where to go, so I don't want to stop right now.
time to go. Yeah.
All right, I
no.
guess I got to a point.
No,
and I
I
could
mean,
go to the next game.
You can play, but yeah, we've got just like
No!
we're past 10.
All right. Well, I think you should switch the game.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I gotta figure out why it's not showing the new games. Oh right, maybe if I quit out of RetroArch, it will
Ah, okay, yeah.
bring them back. Come on. Nothing. Shit. What's going on? Can I scan now? It's
Did you
scanning.
put them in PC by accident?
No, that's just PC games. It's just my politically correct games. I
Try
don't.
scan again.
Yeah, it just said. Oh, that's just scan. Okay, that's just scanning the folder. So actually, if I go back and scan this, then maybe. Oh my god, this might take a while. Well, we could think about our heroes and villains. If I saw that as a child, I would become suicidally depressed. What's that? Not having your games? Why does this take so long?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the movies we watched on the trip.
Sure.
Yeah, like we watched a Goofy movie.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we were watching movies that would prepare us for a camping trip.
Mm-hmm.
A Goofy movie is a great American road trip story.
Well, we also watched Toy Story 2, and I was like, I like this movie. This movie's good. Like thinking about how Pixar was good once.
Was good once. No longer.
And Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro.
Yes.
And I was kind of thinking about quitting animation last week, and then I watched all these really good films, and it's like making me feel like I don't want to give up on animation. That like, you're right, we shouldn't just have an archive of old movies. We should have more movies.
Well, we should, but who's gonna give us the money for it? Who's gonna fund this shit? Anything? No. I did all that for nothing. Maybe I should take it out. That's gonna involve me climbing over a lot of things, though. Let me see. Gonna do my best here, guys. No.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna pay for them, because it feels like nobody wants to pay for anything with like movies. Like you look at like a movie from like 40 years ago. There's way more energy. There's way more people involved, and like I feel like, I don't know, maybe back when there was less to do besides movies were a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Fail and bail. Yeah, I was watching Tennessee Tuxedo a little bit, and that's a cartoon that has an educational segment in every episode. There's like a character that is like he's like a human. He's like a professor, and he tells them like how oil is drilled, or like he tells them how like something works. And there's like, there was something that was inaccurate, but I can't remember what. But like, like I just remember seeing something and screaming, that doesn't work that way. But yeah, it's mostly just like, you know, interesting science. But yeah, that cartoon's like really mid, I guess. It's not like great, but I don't know, there's something about it. I like it.
I actually made it worse. Now there's no game. Alright, I'll be right back. Try something.
It's like educational segments in cartoons. Like, I'm thinking of like Animaniacs would do that. And then there was like Hysteria, which was like all that. It was just educational Animaniacs, basically. But Animaniacs would also be educational once in a while, where they would do like the president's song, or the like there's like a song about the U.S. Capitals. So you know, they were putting cauliflower into the cheesy mashed potatoes. But like I think it's like, you can make something just educational and fun. It doesn't have to be Animaniacs. And Animaniacs is neither educational nor fun. I guess it's educational. It was good in those segments. It's just like there's like, you know, there's too much of that show. There's like 100 different segments. It's like 100 different gimmicks. And then there's like 100 different shows just like it. Like Tiny Toons and Hysteria. I don't know
all
where
these
I was
cartoons
going
you're
with
talking
this.
about are terrible, Joe.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't watch these shows. I watched Tiny Toons, but Animaniacs I just remember from YouTube clips, I guess. They put the best parts in YouTube clips.
I mean, those, I don't know.
Yeah, remember the like bird trio that was like a play on Goodfellas?
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so now it doesn't even recognize my.
Made it worse.
I made it worse, guys. Help! I made a big time mistake. I suppose I could scan this, but I think we might be screwed here. I ruined. Well, what was the point of bringing up all of those terrible 90s cartoons?
I don't remember.
Was it like the idea that like the people who made them felt obliged or perhaps were mandated by law?
Yeah, maybe something like that.
To give to have some nurturing part of no items. Shit. Help. I have made.
Well, Animaniacs is a really dumb cartoon, so like, I don't know. Maybe they needed to like, they were forced to make it less dumb by teaching you something about the presidents.
Oh, how I wish I could play these games. Well, these I can play, but Where are my new games? How about I import some content?
Where the video games? Where the video games?
They're nowhere.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So yeah, like I was looking up luxurious RVs, like the kind that take up 2 stories, and I found none other than Will Smith has one of those.
Oh, he actually does?
RV.
He really does?
Yeah, that's why I used his face
Oh
on
my
the
God.
thumbnail.
Oh my God. All right. My last resort is to restart the deck.
Yeah, you should do that. Why is that a last resort?
Oh, because
You have to get up
eventually I'm
again.
going to give up. I'm going to give up the ghost, guys.
But yeah, there were people at that campground that kind of brought their whole house with them, or so it seemed.
So Will Smith likes to do that, huh?
I guess it seems like that's like he like when he's shooting a movie, he brings like a whole house with him.
Oh, I see what you mean. He's got his RV. I thought that was just kind of like, you know, if you're in a bad marriage, you want to be able to like pick up and leave at any time.
I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it though. Well, yeah, like if you have to like explain immediately what you use it for, like
Yeah. Well, I've heard many stories of motorhomes purchased motorhome purchases that are fueled solely by a mutual hatred between a married couple.
yeah.
They get the motorhome so that they can think about something other than their fucking house that they hate being in with that other person. And they fill it with shit as a way of, like, I guess kind of trying to get a redo on the house that the other person fucking ruined by being in with you. Oh, wait. Where is actually my... Where's that media thing? Is it in a folder called media? No. I don't actually know where that directory is. Oh, but wait. Yeah, the directory went away.
RetroArch.
What was that?
Go back.
What?
RetroArch.
No, it was
that?
home deck and then it was media, but now I'm not even getting the opportunity to do that.
Could you search?
I suppose. I don't think it's recognizing it at all. Unbelievable. Well, we just might not have ourselves another game tonight. I even based Cobalt Core, I can't play it because I uninstalled it so that I would have more room for PlayStation and shit. All right. Now, does the desktop version acknowledge the thumb drive? Oops. Oh my God. This again. My fucking horrible life. What button do I need to press to simulate a click? There we go. Is it recognizing the removable devices? Maybe it is. Well, if that's the case, I may as well try it through here. This is a Hail Mary. Yeah, it's not recognizing. What is the start directory? Yeah. It's nothing. Alright, sorry guys. I don't think I can pull up any more games tonight. I wouldn't even know where to look inside these folders. Lost and found, that's me. Alright. Alright, well. People are mad because we have no games. Is there anything we can do on this God-forsaken computer? I can return to game mode and see if I have absolutely anything installed on Steam. But I think we should probably start thinking about our heroes and villains and wrapping up the night. So I want to give a hero shout out to let's see, that woman who sold me Heidi 15 years ago. Best choice I made thus far in my life until I met my husband, right? You just play Balatro. That's all I got, man. All right, you want to play a little Void Stranger? Have you ever seen this game?
Maybe.
I actually have it on here, so it's a game. It's like a Sokoban style puzzle game. And I've been puzzling over this puzzle for weeks, so maybe you can help me. And the developers of Oregon Trail and you know, eventual architects of let's move. The eventual architects of Mac. No. Yes. All right, so this is as far as I ever get. So you can see these creatures. Oh, they destroyed each other. Okay, that was good. But now I need those two creatures down there to destroy each other in order for all this shit to go away. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Well, let's just, yeah, that doesn't get me where I need to go. I need to make a lot of these creatures run into each other to get rid of all this stuff. Do you have any heroes you want to anoint?
Heroes.
You won't come. Don't come.
I mean, you know, we talked a little bit about Steve Jobs and like Steve Jobs like sort of made himself look like a like the good guy compared to Bill Gates, but by now we don't believe that really.
No.
I think maybe Linus Torvalds or Torvalds.
I think you're absolutely right. Our man Linus not getting enough credit.
Yeah, like this whole time Linux has been around. And what Linux is a recreation of Unix, which Mac OS is based off of. And I think it's it's similar to DOS, I think, but like it's a kernel. So like in order for a computer to work, it needs an OS and a kernel. Like it needs to be able to interface with the hardware, and with the software needs to be able to talk to the hardware through a thing called a kernel. And we basically have the choice between Windows, Mac, and Linux. There's other options, but it's basically like Coke, Pepsi, and water.
Yeah. And let's fucking hear it for water. I mean,
yeah, just water.
Just water. Just water.
Yeah, I feel good about having not an iPhone but an Android, because it's like it's based off of open source software, and that's cool. It's still made by Google and Samsung, but they have to adhere by the rules of that software. They like if you make that software, then you can make money off of it, but you can't like set rules on it for everyone else. Like Linux is open source. It's free and open source. It's free software, free as in freedom. Like you have the freedom.
Free.
No, it's not. We were talking a little bit about Blender. You're allowed to make copies of Blender. Like you're allowed to build your own software out of Blender. It's just like you still have to have the same protections, the same rights as Blender if you do that. And that that goes for all free software.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty special, and it feels like it's disappearing all the time. And having like any software with any sort of complexity and long-term support is, oh my god, I suck. Oh, you know what? I didn't even consider that I could use my little magic wand in this in this world. Not even.
Yeah, I think our villains are the tech CEOs who knowingly inflated the price of the stocks just to make a quick buck, because this stuff does not have long-term value. I mean, it has long-term value, but that's not what they care about. It's all just shitty stonks going burr. And it's people who have money already who are making money off of this.
Right. It is people who have money of incomprehensible quantities.
They see something that is winning every day because it's just being promoted nonstop. And, of course, now everyone's sick of that, so it's going down. It's like, I'm talking about like NVIDIA.
Right.
I feel like NVIDIA guy is just another bullshit tech CEO fucker. It's like, who cares? Linus, whatever his name, is cool because he's just an asshole who made a program that he wasn't even supposed to do. But like, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to make a copy of someone else's program and give it away for free and have like half of the world's computers use it.
Yeah. And he did that.
Yeah. Pretty cool. As opposed to trying to keep it all for yourself to raise the price of your stock.
Which is what they all do.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go. Oh my god, I'm so dead. I will never figure this one out. Google became evil, yes. They were always evil in the making, weren't they?
Don't be evil.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Google is suck. They're constantly breaking the law. They got sued by the government a few years ago for the COPPA thing.
For what thing?
The Kappa thing.
What's that?
The thing I'm always talking about, the like Elsa Spider-Man law.
Oh, I see.
They got sued for like $300 million and had to blame us, or not blame us, but like had to like threaten us with the stupid like, is it made for kids or not button that you have to check on every single video now.
I see. So this was kind of the beginning of the end for YouTubers.
Yeah, it was a bad time and it's been bad since.
I see.
But Google, they won't stop breaking the law.
Well, they got in trouble for it this time. They're getting spanked right now.
Yeah.
But you don't think it matters?
Well, I don't know. It probably does matter. What's gonna happen now?
Well, they're going to appeal the ruling. I think I got this. I should probably actually do the math and figure out what square this guy needs to be at to... Gotcha. How am I ever gonna get all these guys to collide with each other? It's impossible. How can I get Sluggy here to... I've killed myself again. I just need that guy to somehow go left. But there's no way to do that. They're going to appeal it. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen from here. Things aren't looking very sunshiny for tech right now. I'm kind of getting the sense, as it's dawning on everybody else, perhaps. I don't know. Sound off in the chat if it's dawning on you. That this like artificial inflation of AI and all the euphoria of dumping speculative billions into it is going to crash the stock market, and we are going to experience a massive financial downturn because of this fake shit that we've been sold. Is that anything? Is that anything?
Well, I don't know. I hope the right people lose money.
Yeah, it never works out that way, does it?
Nah.
But, you know, Google will lose some money at least. And we can cheer. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this.
You know, Adobe was also sued, and are they gonna lose money? Are they gonna really feel consequences?
I don't know. Like, when a regular person gets sued, they immediately feel consequences. When a major corporation does, I don't know that it matters.
Who knows, yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna get this, guys. I don't think I'm gonna crack this one. If you zoom out at market trends overall, we're still on an average, mostly upward trajectory. Yeah, that's what the paper assures me. But there's a pretty significant crash on Monday, and the stocks were at an all-time high this year, right? These markets were at an all-time high, once again fueled by an industry that increasingly seems to be artificial. Can I just not do this one? Is there a way? Can I just skip? This one's horrible. This one's hell.
An industry that's artificial?
Well, yeah, because the AI has failed to produce or any sort of return. And the investors are getting unhappy about it.
Well, why are they trying to shove it into everything?
Because they're selling a shitload of software and electronics with the promise that AI is going to enhance our lives.
I mean, yeah, it's just that, like, yeah, like they're trying to put it into Facebook or whatever. Like Google, Facebook, these things that worked without AI, that were fine without it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say they were fine.
Well, they were still popular and used by a lot of people.
Yeah. They were well liked.
I mean, I think what AI could potentially do is really interesting and amazing even, but it's only if you're a creative person, and no amount of money is going to make you a creative person. It's like saying that you can make art without artistic skill and only imagination. But who actually has imagination? Like, you can't buy imagination with stocks that it was worth 130 last month and now it's worth 97. Like, it's gone down very significantly.
What's that?
That's Nvidia.
Nvidia. Yeah.
I mean, it's worth something, but it's not worth that.
No. Killing these motherfuckers off one by one. But there's still no way for me to push that back. And I don't... Do I actually have to kill all of them? I don't think it's possible. Can't I just isolate them?
Yeah, trap them on an island.
Yeah, I just don't see a way. That's as close as I can get them to each other. I just want to tell the game that I'm exhausted and I'm not having fun anymore. Is there a way?
Do you not have solitaire on this?
Oh my god, I wish. I wish I had open source solitaire on here. This game is usually so satisfying. That one's a real fucker. Killing my vibe. Well, I have Balatro. That's my solitaire.
Yeah, villains, you know, CEOs, Fuckerberg, whatever his name is, the Jensen, whatever,
Yeah.
of Nvidia.
Yeah, just a bunch of fuckers. Just like...
They have, like, the nuclear energy in their hands, and they're really not very creative with it. Like,
No.
they don't have like a serious vision for it.
No.
It's actually much more quaint than they want you to believe. It could jumble information in a way that is potentially helpful, but it's not going to replace everyone. It's not the Terminator. You know, I mean, actually, it's probably what the Terminator does is probably easy compared to what it can do. But like, it's still not a human brain, and it's not the you know, you were saying before on your dev stream that like the hype of the like stock and the hype of the like people fearing it are two sides of the same coin. And
Right.
like there's this, it's all driving this stock price up.
Yes, exactly. And it's all fake. It's all fake. And I know that, you know, I know that you see like the potential of all of this, but the potential that you see, there's not going to be any money for that either. because
No.
that's not what anybody wants it for. That's just what you want it for.
No, I mean, what I want it for is very silly. It's like pictures of dogs wearing hats, because I don't believe in putting real hats on dogs and taking photos of them.
No, it's cruel to put a hat on a dog. They want to be nude.
But like, when I do that, it makes me think like, man, this is like some caveman shit. Like this doesn't feel like making real art. This just feels like shadow puppets or something, like primitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like in 100 years it's gonna look really different. Like our brains will just connect to the computer and make whatever we think or something.
But it isn't going to last 100 years because the infrastructure for this doesn't even exist yet. And we are barely holding up the infrastructure that allows us to power the world today. And the developers of this shit keep promising that if we just build more infrastructure, which we can't afford to do because time is running out to find a new energy source, then it will start making money. If we can just completely rebuild the entire infrastructure of our energy, then this thing will start making money. We're never going to get there. It's not possible. It's like talking about settling Mars. Like we're so fucking far from that how can you even think about it? It's ghoulish to think about. It's a distraction from the actual challenges that our world faces.
Well, yeah, like I saw a commercial for Meta AI, and it shows a woman taking a photo of the inside of her fridge and asking AI what I can make with these ingredients.
Can you imagine the fucking shit it suggests you make? French fry sandwich.
I mean, I'm sure it'll suggest real food, but like that's not a good reason to use that. Like, why would you want it to do thinking for you? Why would you, like,
no,
you know, you should buy ingredients before, you should know what you're making before you buy ingredients. I don't understand why you would just have ingredients and not know what to do with them.
Why would you have ingredients and not have like core recipes that you make your food with?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you just spawned.
And, why would you need to
fridge.
ask the AI for that? Like, the people who, you know, like it's not even just like OpenAI anymore. It's every fucking tech company has their own AI.
Yeah.
So like they don't know what to do with it. They didn't invent it. They don't know why people would ever need to use it.
They don't know what it's for in any practical sense.
No, you actually would have to be, I think, very creative to come up with a use for it. And there's no creative people working at these companies. No, they're not going to invent something. Look, I mean, as stinky as he was, you're not going to find another Steve Jobs. Well, yeah, if he was here, he would invent a way for AI to be really user-friendly and for everyone to understand it perfectly.
To understand what it's for?
Or just, you know, to have a use for it.
Yeah, he would find a use for it. He would find a way to show somebody using it on a commercial that actually bore some relationship, you know, some relation to like our actual lives. He would make everyone understand the potential of it. Whether that shit was actually going to come true or not.
I think it has. There's nothing we're going to achieve more, I think. Like,
no.
you know, I think it is remarkable what has been achieved with it, but
that like, means we're done.
Well, yeah, a lot of it has been done. Like, what's next? It's it's gonna be, well, the thing that they tease is AGI, which means as intelligent as a person. So like they haven't reached that yet.
They haven't reached that
but they're
yet.
still like, almost.
They don't. No, they're not even close. They're not even close. And like again, we've got energy needs that are not being met, and we're trying to like rebuild all of energy just to power this theoretical shit that a bunch of people that we're realizing now are fucking lying to us are promising is going to change everything. Like who's gonna keep falling for this? I don't think anybody will. I think everyone's done with this.
Well, yeah, that's why I was thinking like a month ago, and I guess it's finally caught up to what I was thinking back then.
It's I do feel like people are pretty much there now.
Well, like over the last couple years, we've seen like ChatGPT came out, and like, you know, some video stuff has come out, like Sora, and they're remarkable, but I think by this point we see how they work, and there's no proprietary winner, or so it seems, in this fight. Like I guess Sora, but like it's still not, like, everything is not that far behind. They all understand how to make it. So it's not really any software company's special, like proprietary thing.
Oh, there's not like the good one?
I guess so. Like everyone's trying to implement it, and there's some that are successful. I mean, like, I think as a chatbot, ChatGPT is not even that good. It's just better trained than some others because it's bigger. And you know, talking about like the amount of power it'll use is like when you train something, it takes a lot of power. So like what we can do with existing models is remarkable, and just using a chatbot doesn't take a lot of power. It's like, you know, normal amount of power, I guess, but that's just like to infer from an existing model, as opposed to creating a new one from scratch using all the data, all like terabytes of data that needs to be like assembled in one go to make the models. And like they only make a new ChatGPT model like once every year. So like, yeah, like that must take tremendous amounts of power. I think for a while it was all about this like rapid growth, you know, the stocks is like because they kept coming out with smarter and smarter models, but it's actually been a while since they released one, and
the models are still stupid.
They are still stupid. It's very difficult for them to understand what you need, but you know, you could also there's shit already like this that like you train it by using it, like YouTube.
But like it's not intelligent. It doesn't remember anything that you used it for last time. No, I mean it doesn't have a very long memory. If you talk to it for a long time, it forgets a lot of the stuff that it was saying before and doesn't regard it as part of the conversation. It's not intelligent. That's not intelligent. This seems really obvious to me.
It's like talking to a library. It's like talking to a card catalog, like something that knows things, but it's not intelligent. Like if you ask it to write a joke, it'll come up with stupid shit. Like if you ask it to like come up with a plot for a story, it'll like be, you know, it'll be kind of unhelpful and kind of helpful because it knows formulas. It doesn't actually know how to assemble them in any, you know, useful way. It's mostly just like a way of searching for information, which, by the way, is very inaccurate, and you have to double check all of it.
Double check?
Yeah, I mean, you have to double check a lot of what it says.
I'm not even gonna single check that. Why would I be double checking that? It's just slop. It's just garbage. Ooh, a straight.
Well, it's not always about what it says. You know, sometimes just talking to it can be useful.
For like gathering information?
Yeah, like it can tell you a lot that it knows.
But I could just use the internet and do research. That seems like a tried and true way. Research?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of the time when a Google search fails, it's not really very helpful to ask a chatbot. It helps sometimes, but it's rare that it actually knows the answer.
Right. So, tried and true, doing research. You gotta go, whatever you are. You kind of suck. Yeah, let's try this.
I don't know, like you know what people use this shit for? They go on a site where you can talk to Caillou and tell Caillou how much they fucking hate him and like that they're going to kill him and that like they hate him so fucking much. I hope he has cancer and dies. Like they're going to drop a nuke on his house. Like this is what you use it for. It's more about what you can say to it.
You want a little character to abuse? That's what you want?
You can explore personalities by talking to them.
Okay, I can explore personalities by talking to people too.
No, but this is a game. These are NPCs. You can talk to them any way you want.
Right. Right.
I'm not trying to sell you on it. I'm just saying
No,
this
no,
is
I
how
know.
I use it.
I know. Oh, no. I mean, you can say like, no, I understand. This is how
Like
you
not
use it.
everything is a fucking sales pitch. Like this is actually really cool, I think.
No, I understand what you're saying. I just think that when you tell me about some like semi-obscure thing that isn't like sucking up all the money and resources of the world for no reason, then I'm going to be a little less skeptical of why you think it's cool. I mean, I'm not skeptical of why you think it's cool. I'm just I think, you know, this all seems very adversarial to me. Like it's going to destroy the world. Not because it's going to steal people's jobs or anything, but because it's going to like create a world where you know, where people are going to like plan their financial year around not needing people anymore. And then when this collapses, which it seems like it's about to do, those people aren't going to get hired back and things aren't going to go back the way they were. Ooh, this costs $2 less. I just, I do get the sense that there are irreversible negative consequences to the hysteria surrounding this this technology. Wait. Oh, I don't have a 9. You know, it's not. This isn't theoretical. This is like life is bad, you know, and getting worse all the time. And not only will this not improve our lives in any way, but it'll make them the hype around it is going to have negative consequences on us as a as humans. Maybe that's just a feeling, which I tend to make a lot of proclamations based on vibes around here. But we talk about a lot of things getting worse, and I cannot shake the feeling that things have indeed gotten worse. And we are permanently losing something with every stage of this enshittification. We are permanently losing skills and languages and information as the internet is rapidly deleted. And none of these advancements where the money is being prioritized are doing anything in the interest of things that human beings actually want and need. They are merely blurring our collective memory.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need an NVIDIA in my car to drive it for me. That's ridiculous. You don't need to put this technology in everything. It doesn't belong in Facebook. It doesn't belong in my texting application. It doesn't belong in image editor on Windows. It's probably going to be in Minesweeper at some point.
Yes. It's ruining Minesweeper.
Yeah, like I know there are consequences, but it's also like we don't know what it's capable of because we haven't seen it mature. Like we haven't seen people use it to great extent yet.
I mean, I don't think we ever will, because there is no interest in exploring it in the way that you would love to see it explored. There's only an interest in seeing how it can replace humans. And without the money to develop it in any other direction, I do understand the power and potential. But I think there's a lot of power and potential in things that people with money will not touch with a 10-foot pole. And I think that this might be one of those things very soon.
Well, yeah, because the potential is stuff for nerds, stuff you don't even understand.
Like things that would potentially expand the possibilities of, I don't know, how information is processed and how tasks are carried out.
Well, I guess like for solving ridiculous problems, like probably something mathematicians would need, like, imagine the calculator was invented. Mm-hmm. It changes everything. Then, the computer was invented. It changes everything. Then AI invented, changes everything. That's how I feel. Like it would probably be useful to mathematicians who couldn't do something, or AI can translate any language without, it can understand languages without any other information. So it can translate unknown languages. That's interesting for nerds.
Right.
Like, it can talk to narwhals or something.
Right.
That's interesting to nerds. It can translate alien radio signals. These are things that do not have funding.
And well, they don't have any practical use in our world.
Yeah,
we don't have
that's true.
alien signals. Oh, of course I give that away and then I want it. No, we cannot. There's absolutely no interest or money in translating what narwhals are saying. Absolutely not. That is cool.
Yeah,
But we're going to kill
that's
them all
cool.
before we get the tech to translate their language. We are going to the ocean is going to boil them alive before we have any technology that would assist us in a better understanding of them.
Well, yeah, like I feel like the idea that our parents' generation had for us was that we'd magically solve everything with science.
With science. Yeah, and we abandoned our faith in God and pursued this godless technology. We worshipped at the cool. We worshipped at the altar of technology. And look at all these fucking golden calves we've been putting up there.
Well, you know, there are these things that are pesky, like AI and internet money, which I think in a way are very similar to the internet itself. Like when that was new, it was in a bubble. You know, we both remember how the internet was annoying. Everything was a website. There was all these sites that went up and went down.
Pets.com.
Yeah, pets.com.
Yeah, TV commercials about the internet.
It's not that the internet was bullshit, but it did suck at the time.
Well, I don't know if that's a great example because I feel like the internet is now very, very bad for us as a species.
Yeah.
The sort of thing that should have a Surgeon General's warning on it. And that the techno-utopias who envisioned this whole thing, the techno-utopians, they were kind of working from a false premise to begin with. There was no version of the internet that would ever be a utopia. And in fact, searching for a utopia is a, like that act is, the equivalent to me of avoiding solving the problems of the utopia that you've been given. A habitable planet. One of the most beautiful things. Like everything, all beauty is here. Yeah, sure, there's some beauty out there in the stars, but we can't touch it. We can't taste it. It's all here. And we have filled our lives with silicon. And as we rapidly destroy all of that. And I don't see how this ever could have been a utopia. Boy, we have found a bad place at 11 p.m.
Yeah, we're talking about like fucking Mark Zuckerberg and the metaverse. Like, it's a utopia. Like, was that the fuck was that? Like, did anybody believe in the metaverse by Mark Zuckerberg?
No, absolutely nobody did, except for him. Even at the time, nobody thought that was a good idea. The stupidest people in the world are holding all the money and doing this to us. Is there anything else we can go on a 5-minute tear about before we end the show?
Yeah, I don't know. Everything sucks. Fucking ads.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, let me just talk a little bit more about animation and how I don't want to give up on animation. I want to keep making animation. I want to make more animations. I don't want to spend so long on animations. Like I was, I was watching the Totoro, and it's like that's like the first Ghibli movie, right?
No. Well, maybe it is. Yeah.
But anyway, like we've talked before a little bit about how you will like ruminate on an idea. Like it feels like there's so much ruminating in Miyazaki's movies, like on the same ideas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he repeats himself so much.
Yeah.
I love when an artist ruminates on an idea. And yes, people call it repeating yourself, which I just did, but I don't really mean that. There is a lot of power in ruminating on the same ideas over and over again. Because if you are a true artist like Miyazaki, you are giving your life to these creations, and you are using them to explore the things that are most immediate to you. And for Miyazaki, it amounts to a lot of airplanes. You just can't get enough of airplanes. You can't get enough of
little black spitball
pups.
guys.
Yeah, the dust in his home coming to life. Creatures who seem fuzzy on the outside, erupting in teeth and bones and flesh. Children being given agency and stepping up to it. Adults allowing children that agency, knowing what they're capable of, trusting in them. The continuity of life, which I imagine that perhaps, more of an Eastern storytelling tradition than anything, but I feel that very strongly in Miyazaki films, that in the end things are as they should be, in that they will always go on, that everything will go on, that actually, these characters we've been following are actually very small in the face of the world that goes on before and after them. And terrifying warty old ladies and sweet warty old ladies.
And terrifying old ladies that look exactly like the sweet old ladies.
Yes, indistinguishable from one another. But like, Miyazaki is such a rare case of an artist in that particular medium, a medium that it is easy to lose hope for, because he's the only one, and he'll die soon. The only one being given the time and the money to essentially make the same movie over and over again. At different points in his life, and produce varied outcomes, and make great movie after great movie that are ultimately all one thing, right? They're all the body of work is one thing, and that's why, you know, I don't like to sit around ranking the works of my favorite artists. It's all one thing.
Yeah.
Get into it.
But yeah, like I was wondering, is that something that like we would not want to do in America? Like, do we avoid that? Like, do we try to make it really different every time with our animated cartoons or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, we don't give any. We don't easily, unless the director is absolutely undeniable. And I'm not even talking about animation because it's non-existent. If you're lucky, you get to direct three films.
Yeah.
It's rare that we give any filmmaker the ability to just make the thing they want to make forever. Even Scorsese has to you know, beg for money every time he wants to make one of these things. But
yeah, he ruminates.
Yeah. You know, I'm always just grateful that there are people who, you know, either through infrastructure or stoutness of heart or just foolishness will attempt to keep that thing going and
not have it be like a direct sequel to the other thing.
no.
It's just like in the same, like your style, your same ideas.
Yeah, you can rely on it because they're saying one thing. They've always been saying one thing.
I think I do that to an extent because I realized how many times I've drawn certain objects, like a TV remote. I've drawn so many in so many different cartoons over the years, like drawn a TV remote with the buttons and like feel like it's just like a gun. I've done a gun so many times, and a knife. Like these things, just like I feel like I must be ruminating on these ideas.
Your themes are a TV or a TV remote and a gun. The power to destroy,
just
and the power to be fickle.
I mean, or the power to listen.
Listen either by force or by to be a captive audience.
No, I mean to put the volume up.
Oh yes.
I'm just thinking of props that I reuse, but you know, there's also locations that, you know, I'm always putting like palm trees and shit in my backgrounds.
I mean, it's not for you to say what is consistent throughout your work. That's for other people to say. You're just an animal. You're just operating on instinct. It's good to give over to instinct. We gotta wrap this up, guys. Join us next time. We're gonna get some tech to work next time. I'm a little exhausted from the hardships of the night, but next time we will have some PC games for you. A lot of stupid stuff that we'd never run on this stream before. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Perhaps we'll do a little MS-DOS. And perhaps delve into the CD-ROM era, which is fairly unexplored territory for this show. And I hope you will join us. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.